Danger. 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 Danger.
Sound lingers. Yeah. Yeah. Sound lingers. Sound lingers. Sound lingers. Sound lingers. Yeah. Eternal.
I won't surrender. Dodge this!
Naughty child. Existence is unity. Every petal in life's garden, all will be swept away by the wind.
Take this! Shape of Taishu! Rise, Phoenix! No more playing nice. Dodge this! Want to see what I can do?
Pray. The redemption. Judgment is here.
Do we still have the upper hand? Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Time for a shot.
For your sins.
Your end approaches. Too little. That paradise, savor it for me. Failed to set you.
We have the upper hand.
Unnecessary.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Thanks for the support.
Prayers won't help you.
Enemy targets detected.
I've lost my way.
In custody. Who's next? Spirit be gone! Spirit be gone! Spirit be gone! Oh, careful.
smell of sin. I shall be the judge.
Nature Reaper! You can't hurt me. By the order of the Ten Lords. Execute the Marstruck! No amnesty for Marstruck.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Still in denial? Recount. By the will of the Ten Lords, the Ten Lords decree, hereby ordained.
That'll take more than medicine. That's better. Motor function restored. Just a little something. Think nothing of it. Motor function restored. No amnesty for the Marstruck.
This is serious. I shall be the judge.
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Nap time. Do you admit this crime?
To be reborn.
Freeze! Crash now or crash later?
Move carefully.
Phew! You can't run!
The truth of life and death, revealed in an instant. The sanctuary is but a vision! Break!
Gotta try hard sometimes. Watch this awesome move!
Let's go. Rules are made to be broken.
Too late to repent.
Try that again! Here! You can't run!
Fighting is meaningless.
Cool it! Welcome, customers! 1,000 wonders to raise your spirits! Fight as one! Yeah!
This is our chance.
Yeah. Just a scratch. Just a scratch.
Rules are made to be broken.
Can we talk? Welcome, customers. Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000 wonders. Finest one. Yeah.
Let's make it quick. Rules are made to be broken.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall?
Fran May. A name that's both new and familiar.
I thought Member 4, Poka Kakamon, had gotten rid of most of the Society members. I didn't have a lot of hope for this. Oh, look who's here.
You're back!
Of course! This is a summit between three geniuses.
It's a special time. All departments are preparing to welcome distinguished guests from the Genius Society. Madame Ronmei doesn't like fanfare and probably wouldn't appreciate a crowd to welcome her, so I asked the researchers to keep things simple.
I took her to see the portraits of the Society members a few days ago. I wanted to have the researchers make one for her as well, but she declined the offer. I don't get it. Whatever, as long as she's happy.
I heard Miss Ronmei likes snacks and pastries, so I asked the researchers to prepare some traditional desserts from the blue. All of them seemed to tickle her fancy.
That's like asking, is Herda a great person? The answer is obvious.
Miss Ronmei is the very image of a scholar. I heard she once took a little vacation on a desert planet. By the time she left, she'd miraculously created a boom in the local ecology.
She just wanted somewhere uninhabited to experiment with her life spiral system. Ronmei is certainly very talented, but she hardly interacts with anyone. She lives like a hermit. Pity. Anyway, what more needs to be said for someone smart enough to become Herda's research partner, Hurry up and head out! Huh? See if you can find her.
I'm not sure, but she doesn't seem to get around much. She spends most of her time between the Master Control Zone and the railway platform. Maybe you can start your search there.
There's someone next to the railway platform. Could she be...
I have a feeling we're on the right track.
I'll check the data when I get back.
Hello. I hope I didn't startle you. This is a work habit of mine. Using touch to open my senses and letting the details of your biological existence flood into my brain helps me understand your construction as a living organism. Such is the basis of deconstruction and reconstruction. Do not be concerned. You are very healthy. In fact, impeccably so. A perfect experimental specimen. I like perfect experimental specimens. Oh, really? I expect the views here had me lost in thought. I don't usually go in and out of the space station, and only discovered today that it was blessed with such calm, open views. It is a wonderful fit for the sweet fragrance of lotus leaves, plum blossoms, sticky rice, and frosting sugar. Come here. Look. The blue planet is directly below us. It is so full of life. This dessert is very delicious. Here, take half. Delicious desserts remind people of how flowers look when they bloom. Ingest this dessert one bite at a time, and the sweetness will linger in your mouth. I hope you like it too. So, what do you think? I can certainly prepare more for you. It's become somewhat of a tradition to bring strawberry pastries when I visit Stephen Lloyd. His attendance seems quite dependent on them. An outstanding dessert. 10 grams of cubed sugar, 1 dried and salt-preserved plum blossom. Baking and cooking are the same as nurturing a universe. The heat must be controlled, planning must be meticulous, and one must not panic, no matter what happens. Unfortunately, there are still too many people in the space station. The clamor is not fitting for desserts. By the way, do you remember what my research is about?
No, my research area is short stories about toilets. Huh? What's going on? What am I talking about?
I see. What a cute hobby. But remember, the next time something like this happens, it's crucial to mask your expression until you've ascertained the situation. If not, you'll be full of weaknesses that others can see through. Let's try again. Now, what else would you like to ask?
The dessert was tasty. I would like more. Why can't I say what I want to say?
You have quite the appetite. All right, I'll give you the recipe. Come and have a walk with me. A stroll is the most appropriate post-dessert activity. As the masses depart, there's an enveloping calm here. Just like in the no-man's land I've ventured to in the past. Can you imagine a completely lifeless world? From there, you can glimpse the stars that lie at the very edge of the horizon. Following its celestial trajectory, the Great Teal Star illuminates an endless sea of white across both the sky and land. My mother and I navigated calm glaciers, looking for signs of life on that world, and encountered many bizarre phenomena. It was like finding the single correct piece in a mountain of jigsaw pieces. The process was convoluted and unimaginably difficult, but it was touching and enthralling as well. From then on, whenever I come across a familiar scene, I find myself pausing to take it all in. My apologies. It appears my words have left you perplexed. Please, don't be on edge. I bear no ill will. I haven't interfered with your linguistic faculties. Such an act would be impolite. I merely made a minor adjustment. A few days ago, I made my interest in you known to Herta. My intention is for you to serve as an assistant. Based on our interactions within the simulated universe, I firmly believe you fit the bill. I find extending trust beyond myself is challenging. A single error in detailed research can generate issues, and I despise matters that escape my control. Therefore, I added anti-truth serum to this dessert. It will not harm you. However, you will be unable to say what you truly think when answering questions related to me. Treat it as a layer of protection. This will shield my research and your personal safety. Once the problems have been dealt with, I'll give you the antidote. I can also reward you as compensation for being my assistant. I will fulfill your every wish. Then I'll grant you even greater rewards. When I first arrived on the space station, I borrowed the phase flame from Herta. It's an invention of member number 29 Circle. I hope to be enlightened by other society members' results. A surge of creativity led me to explore the cultivation of life on the space station. In my imagination, these life forms would be a new variety that are born as geniuses. I plan to name them after Lambda, member number 8 of the Genius Society. I don't know where it went wrong. They possess their own sentience, but are nowhere near geniuses. Moreover, my free-range approach seems to have backfired. In a lab leak incident a few days ago, some of these little life forms ran away and scattered all over the space station. I do not wish for Herta or Asta to be involved in this. Therefore, I'm hoping you can assist in recovering these little life forms. This has nothing to do with them. Besides, the more people involved, the more problems there will be. I do trust you. The researchers are still treating these entities as visitors. I want to steer clear of making my presence known, so as not to cause undue disturbances. I entrust this to you. Once the little life forms are collected, simply find a proper place for them. The researchers in the Department of Ecology should know about this, and provide you with suitable advice.
Where there are people, there is noise.
All the good taste of Capo Cali.
What? A place where the space station stores dangerous experimental results? Why would anyone want to know that? Wait, did someone send you here to try to get things out of me? I'm not doing any private business on the space station. I have absolutely no knowledge of any special hiding places. And I certainly haven't sold any old junk rare treasures or discarded curios or anything like that. I'm not hiding anything at all. You're the sneaky one. What do you want? I won't talk to you if you don't tell me why you're here.
I'll solve the space station's problems. So, I really can't say anything about her.
Oh, that. You've got pretty good contacts if you know that already. The space station is a mess. Everyone's already swamped as it is. And now out of nowhere, there's a bunch of little creatures popping up. If you want to solve the problem, go check out the storage zone. Then you'll understand.
There's so many people. This seems to be the place.
Hey, guess what I got my hands on? Word on the street is that this is the downgraded version of Ranmei's life cultivation formula. It says 10 carats of ingenuity, 1 ton of practice, 30 particles of Starquake, and a few drops of poisonous liquor from Madame Yu Tintu. Rumor has it that it once created a talking chair. Not a particularly intelligent one, but boy, did it have a sharp tongue. They dismantled it and used it for firewood. Can you believe it? Let's give it a shot, shall we? First things first, we need to pick out the ingredients. We need to add some other good stuff in, but don't go overboard. And now we mix them together. Wait! It says on the recipe, Ranmei makes different expressions when nurturing life. Yikes. Take a look at what you just cultivated.
I heard Madame Ranmei is very picky when it comes to snacks. Do you know what her favorites are?
I don't know about her, but I love fermented herring. So, I really can't say anything about her.
Did I ask about your favorites? Also, that's disgusting. What's wrong with you?
Molten cheese tart is the best. Its outlook is infectious. Its positive mood has influenced us all. What's our slogan again? 1. Stop complaining, change your attitude, and use the delicious molten cheese tart to stop the flow of negative energy. 2. Energize yourself, increase your capacity for action, and walk on the path of molten cheese tart's absolute conviction.
Our creed, molten cheese tart is the best. Oh, praise be! You don't know? Molten cheese tart is Madame Ranmei's top fan. This is how it preaches. Those who offer their love are expressing admiration and affection for Miss Ranmei. Who? Since you're so interested, I'll tell you how to secure an audience with the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart. You'll need to work hard to get there. You need to plaster hearts wherever Madame Ranmei has been. If you're sincere enough, the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart will show itself.
Ranmei, member 81 of the Genius Society, a resounding name in science and the veritable epitome of lifeform cultivation. Researchers here have heard so much about her for so long. But once she arrived on the space station, she just took over everything. And what did Madame Herta do? Absolutely nothing. Yes, she's treating this place like her backyard. She's leaving her research notes all over the floor. The end result? Everyone's obsessed with getting their hands on them.
Ron May likes to listen to the space station radio during her research. Some of us younger researchers are her super fans. We're always scanning different frequencies to find out what her tastes are. Do you know her favorite tunes by any chance?
No idea. I just listen to comedy skits. So, I really can't say anything about her.
As expected. You look like you belong in a comedy skit yourself.
So this is the little life form Run May made?
I am humbled to meet the molten cheese tart. What are you frozen in place for? Oh, you don't understand the Honorable Tart. That's okay. No worries for situations like this. We've specifically concocted a synesthesia beacon.
Wakaka! I'm a genius among geniuses. That was way too risky.
Oh, Molten Cheese Tart says Madame Ranmei has finally recognized my ingenuity. Molten Cheese Tart says, does Madame Ranmei recognize me as a masterpiece? Molten Cheese Tart says, Madame Ranmei still has not recognized me as a life form that passes the requirements. I need to work harder. Oh, such an enthusiastic Molten Cheese Tart. There's a kind of attachment reserved for the creator. To the world, you are but one person. But to me, you are the entire world. Oh, Madame Ranmei. Hey, you! Yes, you! Don't you have anything you want to say to Molten Cheese Tart? You should at least express how you would like to follow Molten Cheese Tart. We wouldn't want to mistake you for an agent of gray bean paste, would we?
You heartless dessert! I almost forgot. I can't say anything about Ranmei.
You! Shh! Quiet! Oh, the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart may have a crispy exterior, but deep down inside, it's incredibly sensitive and delicate. It's working so hard just to get Madame Ranmei's attention. You see, the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart has always been fighting against gray bean paste in terms of flavor. The Honorable Molten Cheese Tart is a firm believer that people's lives need to be optimistic. They both hope to receive Madame Ranmei's recognition and have been working so hard. Of course. It's not like we have any followers of gray bean paste here. All the ones who came here to stir up trouble have been converted by us. They went from refusing Molten Cheese Tart to loving it. This is called conceptual annexation of taste. It's genuinely puzzling. Despite Molten Cheese Tart's remarkable qualities, why hasn't Madame Ranmei acknowledged it? It's clear that it yearns for her love. Love from the creator to her creation? Familiar love? Doesn't sound right. Romantic love? Definitely not. I don't know. Expecting me to understand love is like asking me to map the farthest reaches of the universe. Remember, as long as love is your compass, you're on the right track. And in the wise words of the Honorable Molten Cheese Tart, love must be shouted from the rooftops. That depends if the Honorable Tart agrees to it. Oh? The Honorable Molten Cheese Tart has agreed.
The moon shines on the truth.
You're here. Herta called Skrullum and I to the space station to discuss some important topics. She also sent an invite to Steven, but he didn't reply, and Herta didn't seem to want to wait any longer. And now, I wish for you to attend this meeting with me. I don't want Herta to worry herself over these frivolous matters, even though she probably wouldn't care anyway. Just in case, I want someone who will be on my side. In other words, you. Help me. It'll be easy. Just remember, my secret stays with you, don't pry too much, and keep your expressions in check. All right, let's go.
Hi, Ronmei! I've been waiting for you. Oh, you're here too? Looks like you two have become quite friendly.
It's good to see you, madam. Affirmation. This reunion has happened earlier than my calculations predicted.
Though you weren't invited, I welcome you to remember this historical moment. How long has it been since 3 geniuses were in the same room together? And how long will we have to wait for it to happen again?
Affirmative. Discounting our discussions on the simulated universe, our interactions are scarce. I look forward to the innovative ideas that may emerge from this juxtaposition of minds.
Let me get straight to the point. I think it's time to find another partner for the simulated universe.
You wish to kick Steven out?
No, of course not. Steven doesn't want to get involved and voted to abstain. Oh, whatever. Look, I respect the way people want to live, but he doesn't have the chance to be involved in this decision-making anymore.
Question. Are we introducing a 5th partner for the simulated universe?
Yes, a 5th genius. The reason for our gathering is clear to everyone present. What else could prompt such a gathering of brilliant minds except for the answer? No one can refuse the secret of the eons. Not even Xandar. We'll definitely get a response.
What if the responder is Polka Kakamond?
That'd be great! Hey, Lord of Silence, are you listening? I'm member number 83, Herta, and I want to meet you. I believe you and I will have a lot to talk about.
It's unlikely we'll hear from Polka Kakamond. She's been off the grid for quite some time. Probability, member number 64, Dr. Primitive, may appear.
That's a hard hard pass. Given Dr. Primitive's shady research practices and his tussle with the Galaxy Rangers, the IPC will surely turn this into a media circus. He can get lost. I'd prefer it if the simulated universe remained scandal-free. What about you, Chengdu? Are you still in touch with her, Ruanmei? Is she still alive?
Can we ask her to leave if we are to discuss this topic? The process will be long and boring. There's no need to take up other people's time.
Of course! You brought her in after all. It's up to you.
All right. Let me walk you out.
And what the heck is this?
Seems like a programming error.
Oh, this fragment of Ruanmei. Have you seen it in the simulated universe before?
The simulated universe is my home. I'm speaking nonsense again.
It's probably an isolated glitch.
Fine. I'm used to turning a blind eye to these things. It makes life easier. I am curious, though. Are you gonna keep it, Ruanmei?
I probably will. Records indicate she likes this occurrence.
All right, I agree. As long as it helps you with your research, you can do whatever you want.
Come along. I'll see you out. It appears I was overthinking things. Impulsive behavior is pretty characteristic of her after all. Thankfully, it was just a minor scare. Still, meetings give me such a headache. It seems I'll have to stay put for a while. I see that you've recovered the life form in the master control zone. Thank you. Well done. No, you misunderstand. While Herta is tied up in meetings, you might find it more convenient to roam the space station. There are some things that I must tell you now. If I wait for the meeting to finish, then it might be too late. The retrieval of my life forms isn't complete yet. There's more than just one, and some are stored in a sealed zone. Herta uses that place to welcome visitors from across the stars, or to welcome members of the Genius Society. However, due to the Legion's invasion, it is no longer open to the public. And now my headache is stored there. There's much you don't know about the space station, and even more about Herta. But there is some information I can give you. That place is also used to welcome non-humanoid visitors, and has a shuttle that connects to outer space. I'm giving you my access card. Give me your hand, and I'll input your fingerprint into it. Stay vigilant, Assistant. Should you come across a threat you can't handle, just alert me. I'll come to your aid no matter what. Remember, there is a giant incubator in the middle of the zone. That's where my headache is stored. Once you're back, come find me on the railway platform. Then you'll understand everything.
What would a sealed zone look like?
Buzz.
What's up with this unit? It looks different from the one in the Master Control Zone.
Buzz. Madam Herta, open zone. Buzz. To welcome alien species, galactic visitors. High risk zone. Buzz. Service staff, inorganic life forms. Buzz. Permission status. Madam Ron May. Permissions granted. Madam Herta, fine. As long as it keeps her happy. Buzz. Class 1, clearance zone. Buzz. Many esteemed guests. Buzz. May include dangerous persons. Buzz. Storage for Madam Herta's dangerous curios. Buzz. Madam Ron May's cultivated life forms. Buzz. Welcome, Buzz. Visitor, how can I help? Basement 1, Transit Hub. Buzz. Basement 2, Shuttle. Incubator. Dangerous curio storage. Buzz. Corridor. Danger. Buzz. Welcome. Visitor, what do you need? Buzz. Conclusion. You cannot enter. Probability 50%. Other paths are open. Assessment. Seeking directions. Buzz. Suggestion. Proceed to basement. Locate records of cultivation path. Buzz.
Danger. 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 Danger.
The moon shines on the truth.
I never imagined there'd be so many of them. You're here too? Seems like this is the other end of that one-way path.
I'll see you off. Receive divinity.
Save it for your own skin.
Bloom.
Good as new.
Repay.
Time for a buzz. This is double speed.
Unworthy.
Receive divinity.
Unnecessary.
Try harder. All will be revealed. In lunar flame. Blade of moon.
Failed to send you.
Do not concern yourself.
fun.
Unworthy.
I can do this! Don't come any closer!
Fiends or devils, I'll crush them all! I will dispatch you. The fight is set. That paradise may be unreachable. Savor it for me.
This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed. More enemies. Time for a fun. This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
Unworthy. Wait a moment. All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
Stay put.
Protect me! Protect me!
Failed to send you.
Never imagined there'd be so many of them.
The kindling for the phase flame is fascinating. Unfortunately, before the research could be completed, it vanished. I've initiated new attempts. The growth status of the two samples this time is promising. I incorporated personal taste preferences into the concept, but I'm uncertain about the outcome of such an action. simultaneously possess two sets of emotional traits. They are at once cute, weak, sentimental, and sensitive, yet are also fierce, instigating, demanding, and confident. Interestingly, they also possess a kind of inclination, a yearning for their creator. It manifests as a natural, inherent emotion, similar to that of a baby towards its mother. Life towards sustenance, or the peculiar bond between humans.
Huh? What's that sound out there? This is the headache Runmei mentioned? It's just a different flavor.
Recognized words. Too much negative energy. Don't like negative energy. Why? Why am I a failure?
What's that noise? Follow me. It'll be okay. I need to find a place for this little one. That sound seems to be from that locked room. How do I get in?
The moon shines on the truth.
The final days that member number 23 Echa spent in the mechanical city showed me that even the longest of lives, such as hers, have a limit. I'm now certain that the outcome of this cultivation is failure. Life can exist in thousands of different forms, which means the form itself has no purpose. These life forms are very advanced in their own concepts, and can even trigger chain reactions such as synesthesia, but that is not what I desire. I'm starting to feel lost. Perhaps the question, what is the essence of life, never had an answer. Member 1.
Are you telling me to keep going?
Life is countless and varied in form. I firmly believe in that. Its beauty is like a myriad of flowers, and I want to pluck the one that never wilts. The patterns of all things always have complicated and enchanting exteriors, while their inner essences remain simple and plain. If we were to trace things back to their roots, just one equation would be enough to solve the confusion of all life. Ever since I was a child, I have always delighted in observing aspects of microscopic creatures, such as the speed with which slime molds devour objects. I have also gazed far and wide across the macroscopic world, investigating the progress of the universe up to this day. It was all very simple. I wish to discover the true essence of life, something that all individuals possess unknowingly, whether it is the materialism of their existence or an unknown entity beyond corporeal realms. To avoid blind faith in science, I cautiously raised a query. Would Ram-Mei be able to peel away external influences? Just like pinpointing a coordinate, would she be able to uncover life's most primordial and beautiful form of existence? I thought of one life form that would truly lie beyond my reach, and that is...
Sounds fitting. Stay here for a bit. Did something just open?
Hidden room. Buzz. Only Madame Ron-Mei has permissions. Please submit your ID. Buzz. Permissions granted. Buzz. Select from the below services. 1. Check historical incubation records. 2. Inorganic lifeform companionship chat service. This function has been damaged. Buzz.
Is this?
I thought of one life form that would truly lie beyond my reach. And that is an emanator. I cannot comprehend what an emanator is. Scholars view them as the executors of the Eon's power. So, when did it begin? And at what point did they become closer to the Eons than any other life form? At first, I tried to create a genius. I failed. That question has no solution yet, and a long journey of discovery still lies ahead. However, erudition isn't the only path in the universe. If we set logic aside, would there be more primitive and pure emanators on other paths? Of course there would be. Tazyronth. I was able to see the beginning and end of the swarm disaster through the simulated universe, obtain data on the Imperator and Sectorum and their descendants, replicate them, nurture them, and create a brand new scientific discipline. It is a logical decision. I will certainly succeed. The entity that I reconstruct will bloom into a life never before seen. Will Herta and Screwlum like this experiment? Most likely not. Therefore, before they realize what I am doing, I must hurry my work, as well as find a fitting assistant.
Permission granted. Buzz. Select from the below services. 1. Check visitor records. 2. Open incubator entrance. Permission granted. Buzz.
That sound's coming from above.
The moon shines on the truth.
There's someone in the distance. Who is that?
Here.
ingenious move. And how will you counter it? Only an idiot would ask such a question. Just move this here. You look distressed. Something the matter? If that's the case, you better get thinking. Are you waiting for a sign? Time is ticking. Descend via the elevator. What you seek is there. Have you considered whether the answer to your question will be of any relevance to our current predicament? If a question is of no help, then don't ask it. Time is clearly precious to the both of us. Never mind. Allow me to clarify something. I know exactly who you are, and I'm aware you are in Ron May's employ. This was not my intended destination. I just happened to find my way here during my visit and saw what she was up to. My goals are roughly aligned with yours. Since you're here, I won't intercede. But should you fail, I will be forced to prevent some avoidable misfortunes. That's all you need to know. Just 2 paragraphs. Very effective communication. I can't stand discourtesy, even when it comes from myself. The real Ron May's creation is hidden in the giant incubator below us. Go. Take the elevator and bear witness to this genius masterpiece.
Space station has an area this big? An emanator of propagation clone? How can that be?
Might be trickier to crack. Time for a buzz.
Tedious.
A blade knows no mercy. The fight is set. That paradise may be unreachable. Savor it for me.
More enemies.
Stand down. Blade of moonlight.
Fail to set
Stay put! Fiends or devils, I'll crush them all!
I will dispatch you.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
It'll destroy the space station.
I'm gonna hold everyone back again. Protect me! Protect me! Time for a buzz. This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
A blade knows no mercy. Failed to set you. Savor it for me.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame. Nowhere to run.
After 56 seconds, the creature was unable to sustain its own existence and vanished as if it had never been born. The threat is over. Time to get going.
Is it over? I need to get some answers out of Run May.
The meeting of geniuses is over. As for the future of the simulated universe, that conclusion isn't important. What's important is your task. You look upset, correct? I regret my actions. There's no defending what I've done. Time and again, my experiments have fallen short, and they've always yielded predictable results. I made a clone, but it doesn't hold a candle to the Emanator. How should I have explained it to you? I'm not good at communicating with others. Restrained by time and place, its code of life could only be considered an incomplete attempt. I managed to replicate the moment it was born. However, it would soon disappear and be reduced to particles. Like every living being, it inevitably faced its demise as it journeyed towards the end. I find no fault in that. However, Even the briefest life should have meaning. I want to know the limits of its capacity. It will indicate how far I've gone in a field completely incomprehensible to me. And it was a minuscule step, just as I had predicted. I did say that if a danger proved too great for you, I would personally step in to confront it. I must admit, I'm not fond of scenarios where everything aligns perfectly with my expectations. An experiment should have its unforeseen twists. That's where the joy lies. Even the most predictable storylines can have their pleasant surprises. I have to admit that these little ones born in the process sometimes move me. I see a human-like response in them. It is a concept completely opposite to that of divinity. They have emotions. Emotions may be either positive or negative. However, the love rooted in the depths of their heart is eternal and unchanging. They're still a long way from becoming geniuses, and are therefore unable to discern whether this love is one of friendship, romance, or familial love. That being said, can even geniuses tell the difference? I cannot, at least. I do not understand what love is, and cannot respond to their feelings. Do you believe my actions were wrong? There's no need to tell me your answer. I just felt like asking the question. How should I take care of them? Perhaps leaving them at the space station is the best choice. Do I seem irresponsible? I'm sorry. I am often at a loss as to how to face my own creations. The effects of the anti-truth serum will also wear off. If others mention me to you in the future, you can answer however you like. Or even pretend you never knew me. After all, your memory of me will soon dissipate like smoke. Over time, hidden truths tend to surface. Past traumas, which I'd rather leave behind, have made me skeptical about trusting anyone but myself. If I do not want a secret revealed, the most foolproof way is to destroy it. The anti-truth serum will make you forget the brief period we spent together. It won't take effect immediately. It is a slow, intangible process, like the sweet fragrance of lotus leaves, plum blossom, sticky rice, and frosting sugar. Perhaps you'll remember someone performed selfish experiments on the space station, but you will no longer remember their identity. Perhaps we'll meet again someday, but you won't be able to connect me with the recollection. That way, the connection between life forms will be erased. Friendships, secrets, grudges, lies, all will disappear. It will make our lives more relaxing. I believe you. Screwlum will stay on the space station for a while longer. He and Herta still have problems they need to solve. As for me, I'm leaving soon and won't bother with goodbyes. Do you still remember the no man's land I mentioned? I'm considering a solo trip back there during my research downtime, just to see how things are. I miss member number 55 reaching too sometimes. She used to always make something delicious for me to drink every time we parted ways. I hope I won't meet member number 4 Polka Kakamond. That would be quite troublesome. Who knows when the next gathering of geniuses will be? Do you have anything else you want to say to me? I promise I will, Miss Assistant. If fate allows and you're interested, upon our next meeting, we could journey to No Man's Land and traverse its tranquil glaciers. Though I suppose it wouldn't be No Man's Land anymore. What a conundrum.
Where there are people, there is noise.
Newsflash. Good evening, Madame Herta fans. This is an urgent broadcast. The great Madame Herta, member 83 of the Genius Society, has been targeted in an attack at the space station. Her current whereabouts are unknown, with no group having stepped forward to claim responsibility. Many Heritors are upset at the ineptitude of upper management, having issued strong protest and condemnation.
Mr. Scrollum, this was a premeditated attack.
Conclusion. Their target was the space station, but their strategies are still unknown to us.
That's right. Which is precisely why we need her. The last to lay eyes on Herta's puppet before the attack was her.
And you are?
This is Dr. Ratio of the Intelligentsia Guild, a delegate from the IPC.
She's only just woken up, dazed. She may need a few pointers. Ah, we cross paths again. Do you remember me? Of course. Why would you? Memory is such a fickle thing, after all.
Miss Trailblazer, you must have many questions. Please be patient. Asta will explain it all to you.
You probably know the gist of things already. A few system hours ago, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal. No. The attack happened on a base outside the station, beyond the surveillance camera's range. She's away on a visit. This issue didn't seem to trouble her much.
She received an invitation from the IPC before the attack occurred.
Ah, the technology department. Charming little place, isn't it? Madame Yabuli does possess some semblance of competence, but her subordinates? Oof. Oh, they're a riot. Brimming with enthusiasm, yet utterly devoid of intellect. It's as if evolution halted prematurely for them. They want to start some new collaborations with Herta, and have graciously extended an invite for me to play the role of science consultant. It's delightfully amusing. I can't wait to witness firsthand how these geniuses from the so-called Super Smart Club squander the IPC's vast resources. However, this attack was timed a little too well. I can't help but wonder if someone leaked this information, and the attackers seized the opportunity. Herta's aloof response to these juvenile provocations? Almost as intriguing. What a delightful little puzzle.
I've long heard that you're one of the best researchers in the guild, Dr. Ratio. We are honored to have your assistance.
Save your flattery. Time is hardly a luxury we can squander. To debate the merits of mere mortals in the company of an actual genius? Quite the paradox, if you ask me. Excuse me, you. Tell me, what were you doing the last time you saw that puppet?
Huh? I do remember that happening, I think.
Don't play the fool. Think.
I think I was...
Oh, right. I need your help with something else. That curio's gone missing, and I can't just forget about it. Go find it for me when you have the time. I'm sure you can manage that, can't you? Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember. If only there were some hints, then maybe...
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
My memory's kind of hazy. What did I do after that? I think Herta mentioned Asta. That's right. I think I visited Asta. This is what I recall before I met Herta, but I can't remember some of the details. Let me try to remember the conversation with Asta.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body. Sorry, but nothing comes to mind. Maybe the researchers at the Departments of Ecology or Insight may have an idea? Hinkle and are around here somewhere. I'd suggest you ask them about it.
Asta seems to have mentioned two names. Two researchers from the Departments of Ecology and Insight.
Those despicable villains are distorting the truth online. Ugh. If I discover who's behind this, they're gonna wish they'd never crossed me. A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body? Isn't that just a jinx? Oh, nowadays people call them wubbaboos? Well, I might be the Department of Ecology head, but I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to curios. Adler would be of more help, but he's been investigating some paranormal phenomenon. I haven't seen him all day. I must say, it's a little embarrassing for the space station to be in such disarray while guests are visiting. We've been through a huge crisis and are still recovering. But there are some who are trying to exploit the chaos to agitate the workforce. People are growing more and more distrustful of the management here. It's probably turned into a big headache for Asta, too. Never mind, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's something that we researchers need to resolve ourselves. Pretend I didn't say anything.
Adler. Right. Then I ran into Arlen. Adler was with him. It was at... Adler was with Arlen. They were involved in some sort of incident.
What? He went to the scene alone with Peppy? How could you let him?
Calm down, Brother Arlen. I know you're upset.
We're walking the dog.
We're having a walk.
Like I said, we're walking the dog.
So I'm the dog?
They seem to be hiding something.
Is there something you need?
Oh, really? What a coincidence. We're looking for him, too. That kid sure is brave, running straight to the scene on his own. No danger. Of course he's not in danger. Brother Arlen, I can't keep this up anymore.
Can you leave the talking to me next time? Let's walk and talk. Why are you looking for Adler? A lost curio. I see. He'll be able to help. Careful. The fragmentum in this area is very unstable. Over there! As I thought, he's in trouble. Let's go!
trickier to crack. Time for a buzz. I'm scared.
Stay put. Get them.
The fight is set. Fail to send you.
Huh. More enemies. I've got a raid to get to. Let's finish this. Time for a buzz. This is double speed. I can do this!
I will dispatch you.
Can I have fun this time? Time for a buzz.
Tedious. Later moonlight.
Peppy! Are you okay?
That's me. What's up?
She wants to ask you something about curios. I'll leave you to it. Adler, Peppy's in your hands now. Oh, about that investigation I asked for.
Don't worry. I think I figured something out. Catch you later. So, which curio do you want to know about? That's all you got? Too abstract. Well, there's beauty in the abstract, I guess. Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? She's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right, either.
Huh? What did I say?
Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis, but it needs verifying. Let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be in touch.
Adler seems to have gotten a lead, but what was the information I forgot? And from whom? Let's go over it from the start. I may have overlooked something. Oh, right. Asta mentioned another name. My memories of Arlen and Adler are hazy. I need to remember the other person Asta mentioned.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body. Sorry, but nothing comes to mind. how's it going? Did you find the information you're after? I see. Is that what Hinkle and think? At least that counts as a lead. See? My researchers are pretty outstanding. Just business as usual, nothing to worry about. After the Legion's invasion, the space station has been under constant scrutiny. Physical damage can be easily repaired, but it takes a long time to heal the wounds in people's hearts. Some researchers have been questioning the management and security of the space station ever since the invasion. Things had settled down a bit with the reconstruction efforts, but the researchers' disappearances have rattled them again. Yes, 4 researchers have inexplicably disappeared in a matter of days. No exit logs, no traces. Vanished. People were just starting to regain their footing after the catastrophe. I didn't want panic to spread, so I suppressed the reports and told the security department to investigate in secret. However, as you can see, it's hard to keep secrets in a sardine can like this. Rebuilding trust is harder than establishing it in the first place. I'm concerned someone's pulling strings to sway public opinion. Anyway, the most important thing is to get to the bottom of the disappearances. That's okay, but thank you for the offer. Aren't you helping Madame Herta with something already? Oh, by the way, I heard about the thing mentioned, and I'll look into it too. I'll find a way to solve the problem for the space station.
So I did consult someone else other than Hinkle. The only thing I remember is that they're from the Department of Insight. The other person should be from the Department of Insight. I need to remember who it is. The other person should be from the Department of Insight. I need to remember who it is. Identifying that person is crucial. It could be the key to making sense of everything.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember. If only there were some hints, then maybe...
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
Hey, what brings you here, Rich? It's been so long.
I'm not that wonderful. I'm just okay.
It's all taken care of. As long as the money's there, it's all good. Here's the account you asked for. It's legit and secure, allowing you to connect straight to the intranet.
Sure. Can I help you with something?
Oh, you flatter me. I'm just a peddler doing a little business on the side. Small scale. Best left under the table. But if you ever make it big in the guild, don't forget your humble friend, okay?
Again? How many times has it been? You're really pushing my buttons.
Here too. My memories are just a jumbled mess of words. Did my memory piece together irrelevant information? Now I remember. The other person is Emily. She was at the base zone. What did Emily say?
I say, what a wonderfully intelligent-looking young lady.
I'm not that wonderful. I'm just okay.
No need to be modest. At my age, you get a feel for intelligence. Though I confess I did hear someone say you were the shining star of the Department of Insight.
Sure. Can I help you with something?
See this material here? People are so inconsiderate. How's someone like me supposed to make out the small print? I'm not getting any younger, and my eyesight is failing. Do you think you can...
Again? How many times has it been? You're really pushing my buttons.
Oh, another smart-looking youngster. Wonderful. It's about time we had some new recruits.
Huh. Asta told you to find me? A curio that doesn't have a body but is alive. Isn't the Department of Ecology full of curio experts? That's got nothing to do with the Department of Insight. However, I've heard of such a species. A colleague who came back from a business trip said that the Cienjo Alliance has life forms like that. Don't get me wrong, I was merely relaying information. I didn't mean I'd help you. The atmosphere on the space station has been getting stranger lately. It's risky taking sides.
The Cienjo species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler. The disappearances Asta mentioned are likely related to Arlen's investigations too.
I say! I'm not... No need to be modest, though I confess... See this material? I'm not...
Again?
The Cienjo species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler.
I figured you'd come to me to uncover the truth. I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. I can't say anything except that it's a secret mission.
Just as I thought, I vaguely remember that Arlen said more. It's related to the thing I forgot.
I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. I can't say anything except that it's a secret mission. Well, how did you know? I see. Could you also tell that Lady Asta was feeling the pressure? I'll be honest with you. It's been tough. The surveillance didn't capture anything regarding the researcher's disappearance. There's only one clue. Adler observed that the automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances occurred. That means that every victim's disappearance was accompanied by some inexplicable fire. When we made visits to the scenes, some of the witness testimony seemed to agree with this. The words they used were spontaneous combustion of the human body.
Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? She's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either.
Huh? What did I say?
she's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either. Ah, that's right! They're called Heliobi. I guess you could say that Wubbaboos and Heliobi are sort of like cousins. Both are types of energy life form. Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis, but it needs verifying. Let's call it a day. Wait for me. I'll be in touch.
Spontaneous combustion of the human body. That is most likely the truth. Let me remember my initial conversation with Herta, just in case. I need to go over it from the start, starting with the conversation I had with Herta.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but I can't remember. If only there were some hints, then maybe...
Let me describe it again and send me a signal when you see...
I think she... If only there were...
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an energy life form. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it. That's not the point. I wouldn't be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the Genius Society. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale. You must be exhausted. My ears certainly are. So, to sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office. She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio. After which you knew nothing else until Lady Asta contacted you. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating drama? A second-hand account. She wasn't at the scene. Hearsay hardly counts as compelling evidence, now does it?
Affirmation. We can ask Herta herself.
Well, if you lace up those boots and start sprinting now, you might just catch the IPC shuttle in 4 system hours. But as it stands, not a single soul can corroborate her story.
Mr. Ratio, your style of questioning would seem to have a preconceived bias.
Apologies, it's an unfortunate habit of mine. When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. It is also the most efficient method, judging from my experience. Seeking answers with a negative hypothesis in mind is still valid research. It can still help us reach the truth. If she is truly innocent, she can clear her name with answers. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough pretending. Please be quiet. Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
If you knew Herta, then you wouldn't find it weird.
Don't interrupt other people. Did no one teach you manners? Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment. And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet, she singles out one nameless ordinary curio? It's hard for me to imagine she would treasure one curio so much.
The curio isn't the point. Herta was only addressing it because of its relation to the Genius Society.
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius. Affirmation. It holds some special meaning to Herta.
Yes. That seems logically sound. Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now? So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding secrets like they're going out of style?
Conjecture. Asta chose to stay silent.
Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough pretending. Please, however, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough pretend, however. So what's the story?
Conjecture.
Then you said, however, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough, however. She decided to hold her tongue until now?
Mr. Ratio, it's because...
I'm asking her, Lady Asta. Your testimony went out the window the second you started being secretive. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now? So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding secrets like they're going out of style?
Conjecture. Asta chose to stay silent.
Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, She decided to hold her tongue, so what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding secrets like they're going out of style?
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough, so what's the story?
Conjecture.
Then you... However, so what's the story?
Conjecture.
Then you said you... However, she decided to hold her tongue until now? So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is Asta the one hoarding secrets like they're going out of style?
I remember now. Back...
That's enough pretending. Please, so what's the story?
Conjecture.
Then you said, however, she decided to hold her tongue. So what's the story? Are you full of...
The space station has been very distrustful of its higher management ever since the Antimatter Legion's invasion. Another severe incident would further intensify suspicion and cause great internal strife.
Oh. So that explains why Lady Asta approved of my participation. After all, the Intelligentsia Guild's representative wouldn't be linked to the space station, but would still share the IPC's position. They wouldn't be partial to anyone, but would still act for the space station's benefit. Two birds with one stone. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen, head of the security department. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Correction. There may be a correlation.
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess has been thrust upon Arlen, head of the security department.
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough. Researchers' disappearance. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's...
I remember now.
That's enough. Clearly, though, cut the act.
Doubt me all you like. I'm just an outsider who got unexpectedly dragged into this mess. You and I are no different. We both stumbled into this, but you decided to assume the role of interrogator.
Oh? Your point being? Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Correction. There may be a correlation.
Researchers' disappearances, you clearly, though. It bears no connection. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware.
Correction.
Researchers clearly cut the act.
Correction. There.
Researchers clearly, though. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
I remember now.
That's enough pretending. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
I remember now.
That's enough pretend. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the...
I remember now. Back...
That's enough cut the act. You're perfectly aware...
Correction.
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility... Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked. Cut the act. You're perfectly aware of the point I'm making.
Correction.
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that mess.
I remember now. Back...
That's enough pretend. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes.
I remember now. Back...
That's enough pretending. Researchers' disappearances, you say? Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
I remember now.
That's enough. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet.
No. If I recall correctly, Asta said, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal. Don't know the location. Isn't that the same as missing?
She did say that. But then what? You need to provide evidence to show incidents are linked.
There should be evidence. Arlen discovered something odd when he was investigating the disappearances. The space station's automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances happened. Arlen mentioned that each victim disappeared due to spontaneous combustion.
Huh. But there are no signs of a fire anywhere in the space station.
That's what's so odd about it. But this information has an additional layer of importance. This may not be direct evidence, but if the system also recorded the fire suppression system activating when the puppet was attacked, then there's ample evidence to indicate that these two cases are linked.
If these two incidents were caused by the same person, then the suspicion put on you would decrease, provided that this fire suppression record does exist in the system.
We'll see in the main control room. Let's go. Huh? What was...
Harrider Newsflash. This is an urgent broadcast. I repeat, this is an urgent broadcast. News has finally emerged regarding the attack on Madame Herta. The Annihilation Gang has claimed responsibility for the incident and warned of further activity. The Guild has expressed utmost condemnation.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. They give no thought to the masses. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. Yet always there are cowards trying in vain to reject their favor and escape the wounds. Flee then. Flee as far as you can. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
This is...
a declaration of war, and an announcement of what's to come. They have set their sights on you. The Legion's impact remains, and the Annihilation Gang is already paying a visit. It almost seems like this space station is more suited for the path of destruction than erudition.
This Duke Inferno Ifrit is a life form that hails from Fatora, a world long since destroyed. His race, the ever-burning fire demons, regard Nanook as their emperor and savior, but the Eon has never cast their gaze upon them.
A group of pitiful lunatics. I like Dr. Primitive's assessment of them. The value Nanook sees in the Annihilation Gang is perhaps far less than one might see in a child who deliberately broke a vase. The fire demons have a cruel temper and instinctively ignite and destroy items. Ifrit is particularly evil and cruel, even among his kin. The Everflame mansion he heads is even the arch-enemy of the Japella Brotherhood, despite both groups belonging to the Annihilation Gang.
Japella Brotherhood? I've heard that name somewhere.
On the Stellaron Hunters wanted posters, they stand accused of inciting the Japella Rebellion, the uprising that caused the downfall of the Brotherhood.
The Japella Palace crumbled in the scorching flames, and Ifrit's power has grown by the day ever since. Would you believe it would be merely a coincidence? Something similar is about to happen here. Spontaneous combustion? For him, It's as routine as me finding fault in everything. The disappearance of researchers and the puppet were all part of the plan. And after that video will soon circulate. And this station's fate? Flames. Nothing but flames.
The destruction of trust.
I'm afraid more than trust will be destroyed here. You need to start acting now if you want to survive. You, come with me. You have a superior strategy? Pray tell, do we set the two of them loose, turning whispered fears into full-blown pandemonium?
If we did that, we'd be at a disadvantage. I'll stay here and try to contain the news as best I can. Please, investigate the issue quickly.
Time for a buzz. This is double speed.
In lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
Savor it for me.
Time for a buzz. This is double speed.
Get them! Fiends or devils! I'll crush them all!
In lunar flame.
Your end approaches.
Blade of moonlight.
This is double speed. Time for a buzz.
Savor it for me.
In lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
Failed to send you.
Time for a buzz. This is double speed. Time for a fun. Give me strength.
This is double speed.
In lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
Time for a buzz.
Get them!
Time for a buzz.
This is double speed.
In lunar flame.
The fight is set.
Time for a buzz.
Get them! Fiends or devils! I'll crush them all!
This is double speed.
Savor it for me.
Time for a buzz.
This is double speed.
You can't kill me.
Well timed.
Time for a buzz. Protect me! Protect me!
Blade of moonlight.
This is double speed.
Fail to set you.
In lunar flame.
Time for a buzz.
Get them!
Savor it for me.
Danger. 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 Danger.